fantastic. Now we do have Nick this morning, who's really going to tell us exactly what is happening in the tech space and exactly how the COVID-19 pandemic has really affected businesses in the tech space as well. Nick, how are you doing, man?
How are you? I'm good. Good morning.
Good morning. You told me that you are up early. Is that the new normal for you?
Yeah, I'm an early morning person actually. I wake up, or depending on the amount of work I have, because usually that's the time I'm always very productive. So
Just good to see you, man. I was telling you you're getting a bit older.
I'm getting, I know, yeah. We are almost, in fact, next month is my birthday, so I'm gonna be turning, entering third floor. So you see, I'm getting older.
I'll be there hopefully. Talk to me. What are you reading this week? I know you're a blogger, you're a tech blogger, so you must be reading something. And what is it saying?
Yeah, well, interestingly, I'm not reading anything tech related. Well, there was a book I was reading a while back, but it took a hold. I'm reading Chimamanda's Half of Yellow Sun actually right now. Yes, so nothing tech related, but yeah, I'm reading Chimamanda's book right now.
Good. Let's talk about your company. Have you been affected in any way, therefore, by the COVID-19 pandemic?
And all of us have been affected, especially for us. When as you said, I'm in the tech space, right? I write about technology. We cover things around content marketing, and of course, we've been affected because brands are not really willing to invest, in our space because, of course, for them they're trying to save money and all that stuff. Because you really don't know what will happen, post COVID. Yeah, so of course we've been affected so much with all of this, COVID situation.
All right. So have you been mitigating that?
Definitely yes, but really so much because as for us as well, we're trying to see, how can we prepare, post pandemic, what happens after this. So we just be trying to be careful on, we can't really stop doing content because we have to still write about technology because there are a lot of companies doing a lot of things around this space as well, which we have to cover. Come to meeting, we don't need to bring much because I can do apart from just, as they say, taking care of yourself, staying at home, and all those necessary, precautions.
So talk to me. What is the shift that you've been seeing from the companies that you're covering? What sort of space are they getting into? Or when you cover a tech company, what sort of image they want to put outside there?
Of course, well, right now most companies are really doing so much, so much around COVID. So of course, these are 10 companies that are like, okay, we are trying to create this product to, to educate people about COVID, or we are trying to go cashless, for example. We are trying to do all this, and so they're trying to do, of course, to push the agenda about what they are doing around in trying to just mitigate the COVID situation. So of course, it's all about the COVID. That is all over.
Ah, fantastic. So I gotta ask you about this as well because I know, yes, you as a tech blogger and a tech fanatic, this is what the SpaceX did with Elon Musk. Is that the way for technology, or is just Elon Musk trying to say, well, I can make more money than you guys in the aviation industry?
No, it's not about just making money. Of course, the part of making money. But again, when you see this, I remember this was one of the biggest made achievement in the public-private partnership, right? So of course, it tells you the direction we are taking. I mean, how public-private partnership can actually turn out to be something really big. It's been long since actually astronauts were launched into orbit. I think it should be 9 years ago, I think. So when you see such kind of thing happening, it tells you how much you can achieve when private and public partners come together and actually decide this is what we are doing. So yes, this is the direction businesses can actually take moving forward.
Another thing that I gotta talk to you about, Nick, this morning is, yes, it's not like tech has not been happening during the COVID-19 pandemic. We have seen what Oppo are trying to do. And I know you did review that. What is it? Is it the wireless headsets, which are selling, by the way, for around 8,000 bob? Let's begin from there. Who is going to buy 8,000 bob worth of headsets in Kenya?
people actually buying it, trust me. And actually, the good thing is yeah, people are buying them. I mean, I'm sure you've seen people walking around with earbuds, with all these things. For example, when you see how much, for example, the Apple earbuds cost, they're way much expensive, yeah, than what I'll spend when I buy these Oppo headphones, wireless headphones, for example. And they serve the same purpose. So actually, people are buying these. Again, people like me, for example, we will get tired walking around with wires, showing like the earphones I'm using right now for this call, right? So I prefer walking around with the earbuds because they are really they have nice cancellation, they're really powerful. So people actually buying them actually, and that's why, for example, a company like Oppo decided, okay, let's go this way, other than just launching phones in the Kenyan market. Why, let's try about what about this wireless Bluetooth headphones.
To talk to you about that, Nick, as well. There's this fight between going extremely wireless and still retaining the earphone jack. I mean, where do you stand in that war? Are you for, yes, let's go wireless but still retain the headphone jack, or cancel it completely from mobile phones?
Cancel it completely. So just remain wireless and just, yes, let's stick to wireless. Yeah, I think I prefer that. You prefer that.
Anyway, I gotta ask you about this as well. We did see iPhone launch, is it the Say 2, isn't it? During this time for the COVID-19 pandemic. It was called the best seller during COVID-19. What do you think iPhone came from? Is it that they didn't want to spend so much in investing on a completely new phone at the time when their, let's say, their sales were getting affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, or they really wanted to sort of grow up to a certain audience that still wanted to use an iPhone?
No, I think they were trying to target a specific audience because, as you know, and we always regard iPhones as very expensive devices, right? So and I think this was described as the cheapest iPhone ever to be released by Apple. So of course, there's a target market they were trying to reach, right? And again, competition when it comes to, there are very nice Android phones out here. So of course, they're trying to see the competition that is there. Like, how do we counter this competition? So there's a specific audience they were targeting, of people who, like, for example, iPhone lovers would prefer using a cheaper iPhone, but are still they're able to get some of these, very, very nice features that one can get, from a premium, iPhone device.
All right. Netflix, that's another point. I know that you've been looking at their numbers. Wow, their numbers short, Nick. I mean, there's no denying about that. Are we sort of now representing entertainment as an essential service, or it was because guys were stuck at home and they needed some sort of escapism?
And I think it should be actually regarded as an essential service. And again, yeah, I mean, we all need to, to just, loosen up, a while, right? After, for example, a tiresome week or something like that. But again, these numbers shows, and I think we covered this so much on our publication as well. The numbers went high, of course, because most people are staying at home, right? And also, most people are staying at home, and most people actually lost their jobs, So we have a huge number of people staying at home, spending so much time on the internet, so they have time to watch, yeah. So of course, it's all about people having time to watch, because these numbers were never high, a while back, right? So now we have the time because COVID is happening. You can go to work, right? You can do nothing, so you have just stay at home on the internet and everything. So that's why these numbers are going up. And this does not just for any other, streaming platform has recorded a surge in numbers. Yeah, so
all right. So another area that we have to talk about this morning as well is, yes, during the COVID-19 pandemic, when you expect that even investors are not pretty much going into investing in companies as they wait and see, hold on to your cash, hold on to your assets that you already have. Warner Music Group, they launched their first IPO during the COVID-19 pandemic. Do we have a space in streaming services? And I want you to talk to me from this perspective. How does Warner Music Group sort of launch this IPO when in reality you find that 27% of their revenues are coming from Spotify and also the iTunes music store?
But again, realize we can't, the world just can't stop because of COVID is happening, right? Yeah. And I was reading an article the other day how even, for example, in like the US, how, these billionaires are making even more money during this pandemic, right? Because business has to go on, products have to be launched, right? life has to move on, and as we wait to see what happens next, right? So as again for them, they are trying to see, because at the end of the day, when this pandemic ends, people will have to go back to business, right? People will have to go back, for example, listening to, doing streams and everything. So you don't just sit there and wait, because there's a pandemic, so life has to stop, right? Again, they're in the business of making money, right? And this money can't be made, when just staying at home waiting, just waiting. Yeah.
I get that, man. All right. Now, another area that I want us to talk about, therefore, is what would you say has been your biggest achievement as Tech Trends KE in 2020, when everybody is saying, well, the best thing that you can do for 2020 is pretty much crossover to 2021?
Well, there are a lot of things, but of course, there's so much we had actually planned, for us as a company, for example, as a brand or as Tech Trends. And one of the things I think we really made a big achievement was trying to get into the space of podcasting. Yeah, because we realized, there's so much. Whenever I used to go out meet people, I would bring to them the idea of, you guys are doing marketing on content. Have you thought about doing a podcast, for example? So we partnered with a company called Portable Voices. It's an audio production company. So we basically just approach clients and talk to them. Like, we can, other than just doing content with us, we can introduce to the idea of podcasts. Yeah, how do you reach your audience using audio content? I know you listen to a lot of podcasts like I do, and whenever you go online, you never miss a tweet or a post, someone talking about a podcast. And that tells you how big the podcasting market is going to be in the Kenyan market, or even just across Africa. It's very big in countries like South Africa. But again, in Kenya, we are not yet there, but we are heading there. That's why one of the things we did this year was actually part of the company and see how can we produce, audio content for the masses to consume. And we've done a couple of podcasts. For example, we have a podcast on startups. We have one on tech. And also there's one we have with a couple of friends of mine called 24-bit. We just talk about tech trends across. We do it weekly, right? So that's one of the major achievements we've done, for me this year. And of course, before COVID happened, we had planned to start doing our first tech events. Then COVID happened. That had to be pushed, and we are waiting to see what.
Now, lastly, therefore, Nick, I gotta talk to you about this, man. Has your company stood with Black Lives Matter? That's what everybody's talking about now.
An African, come on, I have to be. I know maybe, for example, I've never really been racially abused, but of course, when you see these things in the news, they really affect you as an African or even as a Black person. So, of course, against racial abuse. So yes, we really stand with the Black.
Nick, it has been lovely speaking to you this morning, bro.
Thank you so much.
Now, for those guys who really want to see what is happening in the country in terms of tech trends, now you do know what to do. Just go to Tech Trends KE. You'll meet Nick with his publications. He's going to explain to you on exactly what it is that you need to know from computers, mobile phones, and exactly where it is that you need to go in the tech space and what companies are actually doing in this space. That's where we start the show this morning, and we take a short break. Once we come back, therefore, Stephanie Waswa with your social media updates this morning.